I think we're live. Okay, cool. All right, we're live. Hey, players, welcome to Setting Goals for the New Year. This is going to be a YouTube live hangout where we're going to talk about setting up different goals to help you get started for what you want to accomplish in the new year. A lot of you guys have reached out to me saying you want to make sure that you can develop the skills and confidence to start talking to your crush. People have talked to me about doing better in school, really narrowing down and focusing on what they want to do for the rest of their lives. And I want to share with you guys and get your feedback on a few different things I want to do and change about my channel to better serve all of you. So I'm super excited to be here live on Hangout. It's going to be lots of fun, and let's get it started. So, how do I get the chat up here? I need the chat so I can see what everyone's saying. But yeah, I'm super pumped. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. So once I get the chat set up somewhere, how do I get to it? Should be accessible. How do I get the chat up in here? Live streaming, events. Let's go to it and see. Huh. I don't see the chat. That's kind of annoying. What is going on? Where is the chat? Anyway. How do you get the chat? So anyway, anyone who's watching this hangout right now, hello. It seems to be, for some reason, it's not showing up. Live control room. Live chat. That seems to be the chat. Popped out the chat. I don't understand. I don't understand. Why is there no chat option for this right now? Events. Because it's private? Is that what it was? Because it's private. It should be public now. There we go. Now we're set up. All right, cool. Now that it's public, it's up for you guys to jump in now. To anyone that's watching. So, hello. And welcome to this Google YouTube Hangout. So to the 4 people watching, if you guys are there, say something in the chat if you can. Say anything so I can know that it's working. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know if it's working or not. How old am I? So Sloth wants to know how old am I. I'm 29 years old, and I've been doing YouTube for, I think, 5 or 6 years now as the Josh Speaks. How's it going, Sloth? All right, cool. People are starting to roll in. This is what I want to see. Cool. And let's just get all this set up for you guys. Perfect. We're good to go now. How's it going, Stammy? And it took me a little bit, got a little rocky in the beginning because the video was actually private when I meant to set it as public for some reason. But yeah, as more people roll in, I just want to say, guys, start sending your questions. We'll start to do some Q&A. I'll fill you guys in on a few of the things I want to do for the channel. So if you don't already know, I put together a survey for 2017. Basically, what the survey is going to do is it's going to collect different ideas, the types of videos you guys want to see. Tell me a little bit more about you as a viewer so that I can kind of reshape what I want to do for my channel. So I'm going to share the link to you. The survey is there in the chat. You guys can check it out. And from there, if you guys click on that survey, You fill it out. I'm going to choose 3 people that fill it out to do a one-on-one Skype hangout with. We could talk about anything you want. You can share your stories, ask me questions, anything. But the more people that fill it out, the better. So if you have the time, filling out, awesome, fill it out. And let's see what some of you guys had to say here. So, Stammy, thanks for being here early. I really appreciate you coming in. Got to a little bit of a rocky start because I wasn't sure when the chat wasn't working. The video was private. Now it's public. So, Sloth also asked me if I have a girlfriend. So yes, I do have a girlfriend. We've been together for 4 years, close to 5. And, you know, that's where I stand. I in the videos that I've put together so far, I've told the story of how everything went between me and my first girlfriend, which was a 3-part series talking about how I first started talking to her, how we first got together. The second video was about how we broke up and what that meant and what I did wrong. And the third video was kind of the conclusion of our story, what happened over the next few years between us. I haven't quite told the story yet of my second girlfriend, guys, so get ready for that. I'm with my girlfriend now. She's my third girlfriend, and that's where I am. So as time goes on, you will hear more and more stories and understand how I've grown as a person, what I've done. So Midnight the Werewolf says he needs help. Cool, man. What's your situation? I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. When you guys come here, you got a lot of questions. So just feed the chat. Keep it going. Fill up everything in there. Fuse, I'm 29 years old. Let me know what's on your mind. What are you guys thinking? What do you guys hope to accomplish within the next year? Do you want to work on your confidence skills? Do you want to do better in school? What are some of your plans for the new year? Some of my plans for the new year, what I want to do. Alpha, what's up? Some of my plans include I want to try to push this channel to be full-time income for me, and to have the Josh Speaks be where I make the majority of my living from. I want to start speaking in schools. I want to start traveling around. First, I'm going to start in New York, but I want to start traveling around to different states and speaking in schools to different people. And from there, hopefully, I can start putting together books and series and different things to kind of help you guys. I learned from you guys, so that's what I'm hoping to do. All right, some of the questions are coming in. So Midnight Wolf says he gets bullied a lot in school. Okay, cool. I mean, that's not cool that you get bullied, but so I know this is a question a lot of people have. A lot of people deal with bullying and these kinds of issues. So when it comes to bullying, bullying can take many different forms. One form is that kids pick on you and they make fun of the way that you talk, the way that you look, the way that you speak. Sometimes people will cyberbully you and make fun of you online and Photoshop your head on other memes and stuff like that. But so let me know what kind of bullying you're facing in school, and then I can help you better solve that specific type of issue. Christian asks, how do I ask out my crush? So I have a bunch of different videos. I have a few playlists too that are categorized for this specific thing. When it comes to asking out your crush, I think what's important to know is that you have to display a level of confidence that allows the person that you want to ask out to feel like you believe in what you're saying. A lot of times people force themselves to do it, or will ask someone out when they don't feel ready. And that's part of the problem. So what I always suggest is before you even get to the stage where you're asking out your crush, try to spend time with them, try to get to know them, hang out with them and their friends, make jokes, laugh. You can even ask someone to hang out without directly asking out your crush. So what I mean by that, for example, is you can say, hey, listen, what are you doing after school? Let's go get something to eat. Or, oh, what's your Snapchat name so I can add you on there? You can do these little things which are not so much dates and not so much a direct kind of explanation of, hey, I like you, but they're ways to show that the person that you're interested in getting to know them a little bit better. So I would say take those first steps in just getting to know a person a little bit better before you ask them out, because it'll allow you to feel more comfortable when you finally get to the stage where you want to ask them. So Sammy says, how do you learn to just stop caring about how other people judge you in social situations? I always get anxiety when that type of stuff comes up. Yeah, this is a common thing. I mean, the average person, think about it like this. Every single person feels, hope my volume is okay, guys. If my volume is kind of low or too high, you guys let me know, okay? keep me posted on what my volume situation is. But every single person feels self-conscious and insecure when they're in social settings because they always feel like everyone is looking at them, everyone's judging them, everyone's thinking about what are they doing, why are they doing that. But think about that for a second. If every single person is thinking that about themselves, that everyone else is judging them, then you're sitting in a room full of people who are all self-conscious about what everyone else thinks about them. Now you may say, okay, well, how does that help me? Here's how it helps you. The simple fact that everyone is worried about how everyone else is perceiving them gives you the power to control the situation. So imagine if you walk into a room and you see someone that may be a little nervous of how other people are perceiving them, and you make them feel comfortable. You walk up to them, you say, hey, how's it going? You talk very calmly, very casually, and you let them feel like, hey, I don't have to worry. In helping someone else to be more confident, you'll start to display confidence. So there's a common term called fake it till you make it, but I think we can revise that a little bit because it's in doing you learn. In helping someone else feel more comfortable, you in turn will feel more comfortable. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you are uncomfortable and you're like, oh my God, people are looking at me doing things weird, try talking to someone. Because the moment you talk to someone, you're going to immediately get out of that mindset of everyone else is looking at me, and you're going to start interacting with someone. So you're becoming more focused rather than kind of being all over the place. And in talking to them, you're going to start to see, hey, they think I'm cool, they think I'm relaxed, and I think they're relaxed. So therefore we can interact, and there's no more insecurity, no more issues once you start conversing with someone. This is something that I did. I told this story before, but I'll quickly run through it again, guys. This is something I did when I went to a Kina Grannis concert. I don't know if you guys know who Kina Grannis is. She's a musician, and she's really big here on YouTube. I went to a Kina Grannis concert. None of my friends wanted to go with me. So this was the first time I was ever going to a concert by myself. Right? So when I got to the concert, I stood there and I'm like, man, this is awkward. I don't know anyone here. I'm going to be just enjoying the concert by myself, but I'm just going to kind of stand alone for the next few hours. It's going to kind of suck. But then I thought, hey, wait a second. I'm at a concert for Kina Grannis, and everyone else here is also at a concert for Kina Grannis. We're all Kina Grannis fans. So to me, I saw that as a natural way to start a conversation with someone. I started walking up to different people and said, hey, you're a Kina Grannis fan, right? What's your favorite song? Or, hey, have you ever seen her perform before? Or, hey, do you watch her on YouTube? How did you discover her? There's a lot of different questions and things you can come up with just looking at your situation. And in doing that, I felt more comfortable. I didn't feel insecure about being there by myself. I felt more comfortable because I started to interact with people. And I started to see, hey, everyone else just also wants to feel accepted just like I do in this moment. So that helped me. That was a little bit of a long-winded answer, but hopefully that helps you reapproach how you handle your anxiety when you're in those type of situations. So Christian asked me, do I like country music? I can't say that I do. I don't think there's a lot of country songs or country artists that I really listen to or know about. So I wouldn't say I really am a big fan of country music. So oh boy, comments just jumped. I'm a little behind here. Let's skim through it here and see what else you guys are saying. So Desmond says, how do you know if a girl is flirting with you or just being friendly with you? That's a very good question. So here's the thing. A lot of guys are always trying to figure out, oh, is she giving me signals that she likes me? It's kind of mixed. She started talking to me. She looked at me. She asked me to hang out. What does that mean? Does she like me? Or is she flirting? Or is she just being friendly? I think the thing is that there's no definitive answer. You can't say she looked at me, therefore she likes me, or she asked me to hang out, therefore she doesn't like me or does like me. There's no definitive answer. Realistically, the only thing you can do in that moment is you can push forward. And by pushing forward, what I would say is that if a girl is showing any kind of interest in you, asking you to hang out, looking at you, talking to you, talking to her friends about you, whatever it may be, any kind of interest in you as a person, push forward. And the way to push forward is to talk to her, to ask her to hang out, to ask her friends about her. So that's how you really find out, because in spending more time around her and more time with her, you'll learn more about how she actually feels. I think everyone wants to stay the safe distance in the back where they're not doing anything where it can come back and bite them. But sometimes you have to push forward a little bit so you can really know what's going on. So I think if you're trying to figure out if the girl's flirting or if she's just being friendly, push forward, talk to her friends, even ask her to hang out. Say, hey, what are you doing during lunch? Let's hang out. See, even something as simple as that, you'll get a response from her and you'll know. If she's like, oh, no, I'm okay, I'm sorry, or yes, but just as friends, or yeah, actually, let's hang out. You'll learn a little bit more the more that you ask questions and really be more involved with her. So Cyclist says, how can I tell someone I like them and like spend time with her? Conor McGregor. Oi, these blokes. I don't even know. I can't think of any Conor McGregor quote. I can't think of any Conor McGregor quotes that don't involve curses. Let's see. Jungle Vein says, I like how in your videos you switch where you are in the clips. Oh yeah, the little jump cuts. That was something I picked up from the Vlogbrothers. The Vlogbrothers did it in the beginning. I'm like, oh, let me do jump cuts. That's interesting. So Cyclist is asking, how can I tell someone I like them and spend time with them? So what I always suggest is that you should never tell someone directly how you feel in the beginning. You should always show them how you feel. So if you like someone and you want to spend time with them, asking them to hang out one-on-one is a way of showing them how you feel. So you don't have to directly say, hi, I like you, and then wait for their answer, because in asking them to hang out, you're showing them that you like them. So when it comes to trying to put your feelings out there, show, don't tell. Because when you tell, you're forcing the person to make a decision in that given moment. You're saying, hey, I like you. And you're expecting them to say either, oh, I like you too, or, oh, thanks, or, oh, I'm not interested in you. They're going to have to give you an answer. They're not going to be able to process how they feel. But when you hang out with them, when you spend time with them, you don't have to directly say, hey, I like you. They're able to process that moment. They're able to process, hey, do I like spending time with this person? And it's easier for them to formulate how they feel. So Jungle Livanes, you live in New York. Awesome, dude. New York. So yeah, Midnight Wolf, you're saying you get bullied in school, and I need to know a little bit more. How are you being bullied? Are kids calling you names? Are kids being physical and beating you up? Are kids cyberbullying you? Let me know specifically what's going on in your situation, because that way it'll be a lot easier for me to really give you advice. I don't want to say generic things. I don't want to say just walk away or ignore them or fight back, because it really, depending on the situation, that's how you learn how to deal with bullies. There isn't a one end-all be-all kind of strategy to interacting with people that are being mean. It's multiple layers when people are being rude and mean, and you have to see where it makes sense to apply what techniques. Jungle, I am close to 100,000. I'm super pumped. My goal, hopefully, is to hit 100,000 before the new year. I feel like that'd be so cool. And I'm going to share a few of my goals with you guys. And I want to share a few things that I want to do to start off the new year, which is going to be a lot of fun. So Ivan Eagle says, man up. So here's the thing about this idea of manning up that I don't like. When we say man up, we're implying that being a man means to be physical, right? But if you look at anyone in jiu-jitsu, if you look at anyone in any kind of trained martial arts or boxing or any kind of sport or any kind of military, high-ranked power, I mean, we're talking about people who live every single day with using force in their everyday life. The one key that they all have in common is using your brain more so than your fists. You have to know when to apply force. You have to know when to fight. Saying man up simply means jump into the fray and be wild and be crazy and fight. And that might not always be the best way to handle a situation. There are times where you can fight, but you fight to restrain. Once you start fighting out of anger or because you have to be a man, you have no control over the situation. You might actually hurt the person to the point where you might damage, let's say you might damage an eye, or you might break a tooth, or you might do something so damaging to them, you might ruin the rest of their lives. So you want to know how to apply force. You want to know how to fight. And I think when we say man up, we're implying just jump into the fray and fight. So you have to be smart about it. Like any trained pilot or trained jiu-jitsu master or any trained boxer would tell you, you have to apply your knowledge to the fight rather than your fight to your bravado to the fight all the time. So Cyclist says, how can I tell someone I like them and start out something with her? So yeah, so as I mentioned before, a simple way to start jumping into starting something with someone is to not directly tell them that you like them, but to start to show them that you like them. Ask them to hang out. Ask them for. Here are some small steps I would suggest taking. Social media is the first thing you can go to, right? You can ask them for their phone number, but people don't really talk on the phone. And texting, I even feel like is kind of falling aside, but ask them for her Instagram, ask her for her Snapchat, ask her for her Facebook, or ask her to add her on Facebook. Do any of these things where you can communicate with them. Ideally, talking in person is always the best thing to do because it's the most direct, it's the easiest in terms of building something with them and then escalating and elevating what you're trying to do. So I would say focus on that first. All right, so they make fun of your appearance. Okay, so bullies sometimes will say like, oh, you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, all these different words, anything. Here's the thing about bullies. Bullies like to grab words that they know will dig at you. It doesn't mean they actually believe it, and it doesn't mean it's actually true, but these are just general words that dig at people. No one likes to be called something that is offensive or rude or derogatory about them. So they're going to try everything they can to find the word that's going to poke you, right? So if these are the kind of kids that are making fun of you, how you look and stuff, it's like at the end of the day, you have to think, is telling them, hey guys, stop, that's not cool, going to help? Is fighting them going to help? What I would suggest is if someone's making fun of your appearance, I think the best thing to do is to tell them straight and tell them firmly, listen, guys, it's not cool. It's not funny. It's kind of sad, actually. You guys got to really try harder because you're not going to shake me when you say things like that. It's just weak. They're just weak insults. And that's it. And there's no emotional reaction. There isn't, you guys are jerks. There isn't, stop it, I hate you. It's, look, guys, those are really weak insults. Imagine a parent talking to a child sternly and telling them, listen, stop that. That's how I would talk to them. If it doesn't work, then I think the best thing to do is to, you have to keep with that stern approach. That's the only way I can see resolving it. Fighting them, there's no guarantee that fighting them will make them stop. So I think that you have to play your cards right. Start with being stern with them. So do you believe that having more muscle boosts confidence? I think feeling stronger, feeling like being, not so much feeling like you're tall, but being tall or being muscular or being good looking or any of these kind of things that are perceived in society as good and positive traits can make anyone feel like, yeah, I have it in the bag. But that's not to say the people that maybe don't have those traits don't. So if you're someone who doesn't have muscles, muscles can help you build confidence. They can boost that up because you feel an attachment to muscular men are able to do X, Y, Z, but it's not always a guarantee. I'm not a very muscular person. I think I'm pretty confident person. And I think confidence is less about being tied to being muscular and is more tied to knowing that you can talk to someone and have them feel comfortable around you. That's really where confidence comes in. Because a muscle-bound guy with huge muscles, there's no guarantee that when he's around people, they're going to feel comfortable talking to him. They may feel intimidated by him. So he may be confident, but his confidence isn't helping him interact with others. It's actually hurting him. Sloth, thanks for filling out the survey. To anyone new that's jumping in, I'm going to share it with you guys here. I put together a survey that is for the year 2017, and this is going to help me better. This is going to help me better kind of set up what I'm going to do for the channel and how am I going to kind of organize things and set them up so that I can put out more videos that you guys like. I want to try to start hitting targets on videos that you guys are directly asking for. One thing that I already looked at some of the results, a huge number of people want to be more involved in the videos. So I'm definitely going to start doing more direct Q&A videos, more fan collabs, more things like that. So I have a few things planned. I'm super pumped about doing that. All right, let's try to get through these questions a little faster. They're building up here and taking my time with each one. I want to try to give everyone a chance here. Let's see what we got here. So Ethanol Pokemon says, by the way, are you playing Pokemon Go right now? Did you get your Pikachu with the Christmas hat? Uh, how do I decide which girl I like? I like 3 of them equally for different reasons, and I don't want to choose one, then lose my friendship with the other crushes. So this is the tough situation. So in this case, I think really what it comes down to is spending time hanging out with each one of them. Like I don't know if they're all friends or if they know each other, but try to ask each one to hang out individually, because it's hard to say, oh, pick that one. It really comes down to, can you build a connection with them? Is there one girl that you like simply because you think she's attractive, but you never talk to her? Is there another girl that you connect with better, but she's not that attractive in your mind? Really try to weigh these factors by spending time with them. I would say the girl that you should pick is the one that you feel the deepest connection with, one that you could be yourself around, the one you feel comfortable talking to, messaging, hanging out with. That's the one that you should pick. So let's see. So Awesome Sham says, what would you say to someone who is suicidal? So I've talked to a few people that have reached out to me about feeling suicidal and have had suicidal thoughts or tendencies. And I think the one piece of advice I would want to say to them is I'm here for you. I think letting someone who feels down or hurt or sad know that you're there for them is the best thing you can do. A lot of times we want to offer advice, and a lot of times we want to say, oh, do this to get better, or do that to get better, or if I was you, I would do this. But when a person is in that frame of mind and they're feeling that way, I think the most important thing for them to know is that they have someone there who cares about them, who's willing to hear them out, and is willing to stand by their side and be non-judgmental in the process. So letting someone know I'm here for you, I feel is the best thing you can say. So Alpha says, how to have a conversation to be comfortable talking to other people. So, okay, cool. The volume's good. When it comes to basic conversations, when it comes to just talking to someone, I think the easiest thing to grab are things that are relevant and that are relevant on a very basic level. So one thing I'm always suggesting to people is when they're like, what do I talk to my crush about? How do I approach her? What do I say in general? How do I keep the conversation going? These type of things is talk about very basic things. If you guys are in school together, and especially if you share a class together, talk about that class, talk about the subject matter, talk about the teacher, talk about the homework. But if you don't share a class and there may be someone you see in the hallway, talk about more general things like the new Star Wars movie is coming out tomorrow, I believe, right? Technically, it's coming out tonight. People are going to watch it, but it's debuting tomorrow. Talk about that. Ask her, has she ever seen any of the Star Wars movies? Does she like them? Ask her, are you a Marvel fan? Did you see Doctor Strange? Ask different questions about things that are relevant to the average person. Hey, do you play games? Do you have a PS4? Do you have an Xbox? Did you grow up playing video games? Any of these kind of questions are general icebreakers. And I think especially for people probably in your age, middle school, high school level, they're easy conversation openers. If you're in the college level, you can talk about campus. You can talk about the courses. You can talk about what you want to do in the future. What are your goals for the future? Like this hangout is about goals. So there's a lot of different things you can jump into. And I think keeping it on that baseline allows them to kind of share their opinion on something that's very common. Right? I'm a Marvel fan, but I'm not a really big Star Wars fan. So now they're a Marvel fan. So talk to them about Marvel. What's your favorite Marvel character? Did you watch the Avengers movies? You can go deeper and deeper as they open up more and more. So Average Gamer says, how do I approach a girl I want to get to know? Video frame is a bit choppy. Don't know why it's choppy. That kind of sucks, but I don't know what to do, guys. Sorry. Hopefully it stops being choppy and doesn't keep up with that. But when it comes to approaching a person that you want to get to know, I think the easiest thing to do in that case is to, like I said, come up with general things to talk about. And if it's someone that you've never spoken to before, you don't even know how to approach them, introduce yourself. That's also a simple thing you can try doing. If you walk up to someone and you say, hey, I've seen you around school before, but I don't think we've ever talked. My name is this. What's your name? Oh, cool. What classes do you take? Oh, cool. I've had that teacher before. Oh, my friend is in that class. Introducing yourself is a very simple, basic thing. When you have nothing to work with, that usually that usually will be enough to hold at least somewhat of a basic conversation. It seems like very basic advice, I know, but it actually works. Telling someone, hey, listen, I've seen you around school before, but I don't think we've ever talked before. Hi, my name is this, is something so simple that you can try out. I'm telling you, try it out. If there's a person that you like that you've never talked to before and you've seen them around school, try that very basic line out. So let's see. So Midnight Wolf says, there's this girl I liked and told her I liked her, and I asked her out, but she said, I will when I'm ready, but she never said. Okay, cool. So let's say like you run into a situation. Let's say you run into a situation where you like someone, you ask them out, and then they're kind of like, hey, I'd go out with you, but I'm not ready right now. Or my parents won't let me date, or I'm not ready to be in a relationship, or I just got out of a relationship. Any of these different things. What people generally tend to do is say, okay, I asked, you said you'd tell me, and then I'll just wait. And they end up sitting on their hands and waiting and waiting and waiting for the other person to respond. But if you want to talk to someone, if you want to get to know someone, you want to get to know someone, you want to ask someone out, you have to be persistent. You have to be on top of what you're trying to do. You have to go back to them a few days later, go back to them a week later and say, hey, listen, I was curious, like I asked you to hang out here. Okay, let's say she doesn't respond to that. Come up with new plans and say, oh, cool. By the way, this weekend, I'm doing this if you want to come join me. The thing is, it's like, it isn't one pitch, one strike, and you're out. I would say it's kind of like baseball, that you get a few strikes before they say, I'm interested or I'm not interested. Try to talk to them, and see, come up with different plans. Ask them to go for a walk one day after school. Ask them to hang out during lunch. Ask them to go to the movies with you. Ask them to just hang out in the park. You can come up with a bunch of different plans there, but the idea is to keep being persistent. Now, here's the thing. If they tell you from the beginning, I'm not interested, I'm not looking for a boyfriend, I'm okay, thanks, I see you as a friend, then I would say back off. The idea is to be persistent but aware. Don't just blindly push forward. Oh, they're going to say yes, they're going to say yes. Be very aware and conscious of what they're actually saying. Are they showing general disinterest? If they are, don't be a jerk. Let them be and move on. Let's see what we got. So Ivan Eagle says, Conor McGregor got that confidence and made a video about him. So you made a video about Conor McGregor? I know that. What part of New York are you speaking at? Schools. I live in New York. So I'm in New York City. So I'm in Brooklyn. So I'm probably going to start in that area. Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, Long Island, maybe New Jersey, maybe Connecticut. Those are the places that I'm probably going to reach out to first when it comes to speaking. So that's probably, if you're in any of those regions, let me know. Fill out the survey and let me know, and I'll see if I can try to reach out and go to your school maybe one day. Let's see. Alpha says, and don't tell your crush you like them, just ask them to go out with you. Yes, I think that when people tell someone that, oh, I like you, you're really creating a situation where now they have to give you an answer of either I like you back or they don't like you back. And you don't want to create a black and white situation. The best way to not create the black and white situation is to hang out with them, get to know them, and build the connection. So Ben Diaz says, hey man, I'm having a problem to try to walk up to a girl. She's way out of my league, but I've seen her look at me, and I look at her. I hear rumors about her only liking African-American guys. Okay, so there's going to be situations like this where you like someone, and maybe you hear rumors, or you've seen people that they've dated, and there are other kinds of people. Maybe she likes tall guys. Maybe she likes African-American guys. Maybe she likes Asian guys. Or maybe she likes white guys, or short guys, or guys with facial hair, or guys with muscles. There are lots of different categories of people, in this world. And I think that you should never sell yourself short, because here's the thing. Because a person may have a preference for something doesn't mean that everything else is ruled out. Really what it comes down to is, people are attracted to different things, but if you can develop a deep connection with someone, sometimes that can supersede preferences. So for example, a girl who says, I like muscular guys, may meet a guy who's not muscular and really think he's the funniest guy in the world. And that humor might override her curiosity and her interest in muscles. So don't sell yourself short just because you feel like she's out of your league or because you're not African American. I think at the end of the day, put yourself on display, get to know her better. And here's the thing too, when it comes to popularity, this is what I've come to learn. People are generally afraid to talk to people they feel are more popular or more attractive than them. But people who are, let's say, popular feel, maybe think and act like they're here, and maybe you feel and think you act like you're here, right? The goal then is to meet them at their level, or to meet them in the middle, or bring them down to your level, right? One of those three kinds of things. What I would suggest is that you want to talk to them and communicate with them like they're a normal person on your level. They're not any better than you just because they're popular or attractive. They're just the person. And if you can kind of break through that mold by ignoring the fact that they're popular or attractive and really talk to them like they're a person, like you would talk to anyone else, this gap that's there won't matter. It'll disappear. It will literally disappear from the conversation as you talk to them. Now, I'll give you a quick story with that. I don't know how many of you guys know Grace Helbig on YouTube. She's a big YouTuber and everything. I told this in a story of how I talked to, I said how I approached a random girl like Grace Helbig. That was the name of the video I did. But just to give you guys a recap on that, I had went to a party. It was a party with her previous channel, people who managed her channel, My Damn Channel. That was the name of the company. And she was walking around normally. And I thought to myself, oh man, I can't talk to her. That's Grace Helbig. She's a big YouTuber. What am I going to do? But when I walked up to her and I started talking to her, it was as if she wasn't a YouTuber. She was just a normal person at that point. And it felt weird because it's like, wow, I'm having a conversation with Grace Helbig and she's a big YouTuber, but we're talking like we're normal people. So if you communicate with someone like they're not popular or like they're not a celebrity or they're not successful, and you talk to them like they're a normal person, they're going to respond to you like a normal person. Okay, let's move through these. Phil, I am reading the comments. I'm going to try to go through them a little quicker. I'm trying to go into them in sequential order here. So Kevin Rice says, I like this girl, but I asked her best friend if I should take her on a date. Apparently my crush has a thing with someone. Let me reread this. Okay, I like this girl, but I asked her best friend if I should take her on a date. Apparently my crush has a thing with someone. So you asked her best friend. Okay, so your crush likes someone else or has the thing with someone else, and her friend kind of gave you the, yeah, not today, buddy, that kind of response, it seems. I think, look, it seems like her friend is trying to protect her, right? So if her friend knows that she likes this other guy, then her friend is trying to not have anyone interfere with that. But that doesn't mean you can't talk to the girl directly. Maybe asking her out or taking her on a date isn't the first step then. Maybe the first step is to just build a friendship with her, build some kind of connection with her, and then ask her out on a date. So instead of jumping to that next tier of like, hey, can I go out with your friend? Say, hey, introduce me to your friend. I'd like to get to know them. I want to know who they are as a person. And in that, you'll now have a direct connection with the girl and you don't have to go through the best friend. Okay, water break for a second, guys. Okay, cool. So do I like Conor McGregor? I like his fighting. I think he's a spectacle to watch in the ring. As a person, I'm not a big fan of his attitude. I feel like it's very showmanship, showmany, whatever the word is, very showman-like in the UFC. But I would not want to be friends with someone that's like that. I feel like it's a little too much ego in communicating. So what do you do when your friend is going out with your crush? If your friend is going out with your crush, I always say the first rule is, did they ask them out first? Did they like them before you did? Did you guys ever talk about it? At the end of the day, it's like if they're going out and they're happy together and you just happen to like that girl, it may just be a matter of letting it go and accepting it. So Ben Diaz says, the situation makes me not want to talk to her because I'm a Hispanic white boy. Preaching to the choir, man. I'm a Hispanic white boy too, I guess. But I don't think that should be enough to hold you back, because if the girl just has preferences for let's say black guys, that doesn't mean that you can't get to know her and you can't develop something with her. I think when it comes to race and color and gender and all these different things, at the end of the day, everyone is a person, and as simple as that may sound, it's true. And people can connect with people. You just have to kind of find what your deep connection is with them. You have to find what it is that bonds you as people. So for her, yes, she may be attracted to a certain type of guy, but that doesn't mean she can't develop a deep connection with you by getting to know you, by really spending time with you. So I would say use that to your advantage. Hey Ben, good to see you, man. Glad to see you make it. You can make it. True skills. I'm doing good. How are you? So Gonzalo says, hey, Josh, when can I talk to you about something private? Please respond. As you guys know, you can always shoot me a message on any of my social media channels. If you guys want to, you can always head to thejoshspeaks.com/ask. On that page, I have all my different social media platforms. You can send me an email. However is best to communicate for you, reach out to me through there. So Josh in Flash Rule says hello. Nate says, just joined the stream. What's up? What's up, Nate? Phil asks, how many girlfriends have you had? I've had 3 girlfriends. I'm with my current girlfriend, who is my 3rd girlfriend. So Phil says, have any girls you know seen this channel, or were they turned on or off? So funny story. I won't mention who, but one of the videos that I made where I was telling the story of about a girl and my interactions with her reached out to me recently. And she's like, hey, I really like what you're doing on your channel. Now, she never brought up what it is that, because she never brought up the video that I talked about her in. But I knew that's why she messaged me. So it was kind of like, we understand, I never said anything rude or bad. And I don't plan on being rude or mean towards any of the girls or any of the people that I talk about in my videos. For me, it's more just sharing my experience from my perspective. Maybe my perspective is different from their perspective, or maybe they feel like I misrepresented them some way, but that's always a good opportunity for a conversation. And if I ever do make a video where I do misrepresent a situation or someone entirely, I have no problem making a follow-up video and clarifying things. I have no intention of, exposing or putting anyone on blast. So Corrupt Punisher says, how do you talk to a girl you like, but how do you talk to a girl you like, but is in only one of your classes? So I have a video on this, similar to this, called how do you talk to your crush when you never see them around? And I think a big part of that is that if you have the ability to talk to them in your class, use that to your advantage. You can talk to them before class or after class. Those are really your 2 options there. That's the only time I would say you have to strike. So you can try to get to class early and, hang out in front of class. And if you see them walking in, stop them and talk to them for a minute. Or as you're leaving class, try to pack up a little early and walk out with them and interact with them as you're walking in the halls. Sorry, I'm burping a little bit. So use those type of moments to your situation if you only have one class with them. That's what I would say is the best thing. And if you can get if you can get their Snapchat or Instagram and you can further the conversation through there, that might also be helpful. So soy sauce says, wow, how's everybody doing? We're doing good. True Skills asks, Josh, when did you hit puberty? I don't quite remember. I'm sure it was maybe like 13 or something like that, 13 or 14, perhaps. I remember in freshman year of high school, I started to grow my little mustache thing. So that was probably when. So Brandon says, I want to ask a girl for her phone number, but I don't know how. And she's one of the popular girls. So I have a video too called How to Ask Out the Popular Girl, which might be helpful here. But essentially the foundation of what I talked about was you have to be able to communicate with them on a level where they are just like you. If you view them as popular, if you interact with them like they're popular, then it's going to be very, very difficult for you to kind of progress because you're always going to feel like there's a blockade, like you guys can't connect. You need to eliminate that blockade. And the best way to do that is to just talk to them like they're like anyone else. So Jester's Lethal PlayStation says, hello, Josh. What's up? Christian says, I love country, but only country pop and rock, not the old country, but I guess something you didn't, because you don't like country. Love the videos, man. Oh, you don't hate me because I don't love country. I don't really know a lot of country artists. If you have any suggestions or something, shoot me a message and let me know some of your favorites. I'll check it out. So Ben says, how do I talk to a girl and get her number when I only have like 4 days left in school? She's in my weight training class. So this is something too that a lot of people reach out to me. We're reaching the end of the school year. And, people are starting new semesters in January, new quarters in January. If there's only 4 days left, I think the best thing to do is to just start with just a simple introduction. You can always reach out there and say, hey, you know what? We've been in this class and I don't think I've ever introduced myself to you. My name is this. What's your name? even if it doesn't go anywhere, at least you're establishing some kind of connection. So imagine if the next semester you're in a different class with her. Now you can just build on that foundation. And if you're not, what do you lose? You introduce yourself, you met a new person. So I would say take that route. It seems like it's the best route to do. Simple, hi, my name is, could be all you really need. Hey, Josh, did you get my DM on Insta? I did get your DM. I'm working my way through all my Instagram messages, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, comments, and emails. So if you guys want to message me and talk to me, like I said, thejoshspeaks.com/ask. You shoot me a message there. And just to fill anyone else in, like I said, I'm putting together a survey for the new year. As I get close to 100,000 subscribers and as I'm entering the new year, I have lots of goals, lots of things I want to do on this channel. I want to really tap deeply into the type of videos that you guys want to see, and I want to involve lots of you guys in the channel. I want your answers and your questions and your feedback and your perspectives. I did a fan Q&A video a few months ago or so, where I featured video clips from you guys, and I want to do more of those. I also have a Facebook group if you guys are interested, and I'll share the link. I'll share the link in the chat. But it's a Facebook group. It's a private group for Josh Speaks fans, and there's a few different people in there that are moderators, and all of us share our thoughts, our feelings, what's going on in our lives. It's a small community where we're all really helping each other. So if you are on Facebook, if you are someone that uses Facebook, we have that Facebook group. I'm going to share the link in the group chat, in the YouTube chat. And I want to hear, what do you guys want to accomplish for 2017? Start sharing what it is you want to work on. What is it you want to overcome? Do you have fear and anxiety about anything? Are you too nervous? Do you feel like you want to build your confidence? Let me know some of the things that you guys want to really focus on, so that we can come back at the end of 2017 and say, hey, listen, we did this and we did it together. So start leaving those answers in the chat. Let's start seeing what you guys got to say. Alone if you're going to be single for Christmas. Sorry to hear that, Jesus Christ. Sorry to hear that. How do you ask a girl out through texting? I have a good video on that. How to text your crush, how to ask them for their phone number. Check out those videos. I go more in depth on that. So Twilight says, hey, Josh, one goal I have for the new year is to find a way to stop overthinking every situation. It causes me a ton of anxiety. I could really use some advice to make this easier. Awesome. Awesome, man. I'm really excited that you really want to tackle conquering your anxiety and overthinking. I have a few different videos about that. It's in a playlist I put together too. You should definitely check out. But one thing I would highly, highly, highly suggest for all of you guys, if you feel like you overthink or deal with anxiety, is to download the app Calm, C-A-L-M, Calm. It's a meditation app that I use. And it allows me to clear my mind. It allows me to kind of focus on the moment, to focus on my breathing, and to not get trapped in thought. And the idea isn't to help you make your problems go away. It's like that's something you have to work through. The whole purpose is to bring you to the moment where you're not overthinking, the moment where you're not letting thoughts overtake everything you're doing. You could just sit, you can be, and you could just enjoy and live in this moment. So Calm, the app, I definitely think is a great tool for anyone who feels like they overthink. So Joel says, actually, Jester's Lethal PlayStation says, how do you deal with emotionally abusive friends? Friends in quotations there. If you feel like people are being emotionally abusive in that they're down talking you or making fun of you and they're not being supportive, then there really aren't people that should be in your life. And I know sometimes that's difficult because they may be people you've known all your life and they may be your closest friends, and you may just want them to just change and stop what they're doing. But you have to ask yourself, how can I either A, help this person be more compassionate, or B, how can I be more compassionate towards myself? The first one is to talk to them about what they're doing, to let them know, hey, listen, you speak this way to me, you say these things, and they really hurt my feelings, man. They really don't make me feel good. And I would hope that as friends, we can not do that to each other. And B, if you feel like they're unwilling to change and all it does is bring you down, you may have to let them go. That may be the best thing that you can do for yourself so that you can grow. So Joel says, any tips on actually breaking through the brick wall and talking to your crush? I get the confidence before I see her, but once I do, it all goes away. Yeah, man, I know how you feel. I think, so you mentioned the brick wall as in you spot her and you lose it, right? So I have a video called How to Ask Your Crush Out in 3 Seconds. And I think that's the solution to breaking the brick wall. What ends up happening is that when you spot your crush, You stand there and you wait and you think and you're like, well, what do I say? What do I do? But the idea is that if you're going to break the brick wall, you have to walk up to her and talk to her. You have to just do it. So the 3-second rule is exactly that. The 3-second rule is when you spot your crush, you give yourself no more than 3 seconds to act on it. Meaning, I'm walking in the hall, I see her, 1, 2, boom, walk up to her. I start walking up to her. I may not know what I'm going to say. I may not know how to start the conversation, but I'm not allowing my fear and my thoughts to kind of prevent me and make me solid in the ground. My feet are stuck and I can't do anything. If you see the person you want to talk to, follow the 3-second rule. That's how you break through the brick wall, because you'll put yourself in a situation, you'll talk to them, even if the conversation sucks, you at least will know that you push yourself to do it, and that'll help you the next time too. So Justin says, how do you deal with a counselor not helping you? Such as you want to transfer out of class, but she's not willing to do it. So that can be tough sometimes. Sometimes counselors are good and sometimes counselors are bad. Nate, thank you for being here, man. Hope you can plug in your phone and charge it soon. But if your counselor is not being helpful and they're just kind of like not understanding why you want to change classes or feeling like it's not that big of a deal, it might be important to talk to a teacher and let them know that you know, talk to the teacher in that class and say, hey, listen, I need help transferring out of this class, or I need help transferring into a new class. Reaching out to a second adult, you know, might help stir it up a little bit, because those two adults might talk. So if your counselor is not being helpful, maybe either A, maybe you're not explaining why you want to transfer out correctly, B, maybe they're just lazy, or C, just try to speak to a teacher or another adult and let them know so that they can maybe communicate with the counselor. So Sahib Singh says, hey, Josh, I like a girl and I think she also likes me, but she never commits that she also loves me. What to do to help? So if you like a girl and, you know, she never kind of shows that she likes you or cares about you or whatever it may be, I think you have to ask yourself, are you in the friend zone? Are you someone that she likes spending time with but can't imagine being with romantically? Sometimes what happens is when you like someone, you're willing to spend a lot of time with them, you're willing to do a lot of things for them, but there's no equal exchange there. There's never a sense that never a sense where you guys feel like, hey, we can interact and we can communicate and it's cool. Sometimes it rests simply on just this idea of, oh, I'm going to keep doing things and hopefully she'll like me. And that's not a good strategy. You might be in the friend zone. I have a bunch of videos that kind of help you tackle those issues and work through them. So definitely check those out. So Phil says, have any girls you know seen this channel? Oh, when it turned off on. As far as like my general friends, girls that I know, they've seen a bunch of my old videos and they're like, oh, this is kind of weird. I think anything within the last 2 or 3 years, I don't think anyone has said anything about. Ultimately, my goal is not to kind of teach you how to persuade in a negative way or trick or kind of manipulate people. That's not my goal. My goal at the end of the day is to teach you how to be your best self, how to best present yourself to someone so that they feel comfortable around you and then you guys can connect and build something. So far, no real negative issues there. John hit me up, says, yo, Josh, I like this girl and talk to her, but what do I say to her exactly? She's cute and awesome. She's in my homeroom. Should I just say hi? I feel like that's weird. So yeah, I mean, I know this could be weird. It could be weird just walking up to a stranger and just saying, hi, my name is. But the thing is, here's the thing. It's like, when it comes to talking to anyone for the first time, it's always going to be a little weird. And the reason why it's going to be a little weird is just because just checking my microphone settings, make sure it's set to the where was I? Oh yes, I was answering the question. The reason why it's always going to be a little weird talking to someone that you don't know is because you know, there's nothing that you guys have found that you can connect with over yet. So the goal in talking to someone new is to find that little thing, just the littlest thing that you guys can connect with. If you are in homeroom together, that might be the thing that you can connect with. You can walk up to her and say, hey, how's it going? I'm bored waiting around here. You know, what's your first class? What do you have after homeroom anyway? And that could be something as simple and it's general, and it doesn't sound like you're trying to be suave. It just sounds like you're just trying to make conversation. She may say something that may lead to the next question, and you can continue from there. So the idea is to look at your surroundings, to be really perceptive of where am I, what's going on, how can I integrate that into the conversation. One time, water break. Another video I did, I talked about how I went to a party, right? And it was a green, yellow, red light party. And the idea was that if you were green, you were if you wore green, you were single. If you wore yellow, you were someone in a relationship. If you wore red, you were in a relationship. I didn't really see anyone wearing yellow, but a lot of people had green. So when I walked in, I didn't know what to say the first time. I'm like, how do I start a conversation? There's all random people. And I took some time to think about it. But when I walked over to people, I just said, why is everyone wearing green? Now, I knew why everyone was wearing green, but it was an obvious thing that I can observe from my surroundings. And of course, they went and they explained to me, oh, people wear green because it's if you're single, blah, blah, blah. And it started the conversation for me, just bringing something in the immediate area to light and into the conversation. I ate right before I did the stream, so that's coming back to me. So that's what I would say. Use things that are in your surrounding area to start the conversation. So Ethanol Pokemon says, how do I decide which girl I like? I like 3 of them equally for different reasons, and I don't want to choose one, then lose my friendship with my other crushes. Oh yeah, so I talked about this before. I have a video too called How to Choose Between 2 Girls You Like. And I think the goal is to spend time with each of them and to see which one you develop the deepest connection with. H-Town Cuber, thanks for showing up, man. I'm glad to see you here. Corrupt Punisher says, look over here, please read mine. I think I read your question. I'm slowly going through the chat, answering each one at a time here. So Ben says, how do I get a girl's number and talk to her when there's only 4 days left? We kind of addressed that one. Jovic says, how do I stop freezing whenever I go up to a girl? So Phil said in a response, count to 3 and pretend like you're talking to your mom. That's an interesting strategy. I do agree with the count to 3 thing. Follow the 3-second rule. If you feel like you're going to freeze up because you're trying to think of something to say, force yourself into that awkward situation. Force yourself into that moment. It's like jumping into a swimming pool that you know is cold, but you know once you start spending a little bit of time in there, you're going to feel warm in it. There's always that initial fear of jumping in the pool because it's like, well, I know it's going to be cold. But once you're in there, you're cool. Everything's fine. So you need to take that same approach here. Jump into talking to your crush when you spot them. Do it in less than 3 seconds. So Noah says, Josh, I asked this girl out. We're in the 5th grade. She said, maybe in the future, what should I do? Is it bad? I don't think it's bad. I think that if she said in the future, then maybe she just doesn't feel ready to date yet. One thing I noticed on the survey that I shared with you guys is that there are a lot of people that are in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. So I do want to start doing more 5th grade videos as well. I know that you guys are getting ready for middle school, so I definitely want to help you guys get ready and make that switch. But if a girl says in the 5th grade that she's not ready to go out with you yet, then it may just be because she feels too young, her parents won't let her, and she's not ready for that yet. So what do? I think in that type of situation, building a strong friendship with her is the goal. Get to know her better. You guys can still talk and hang out in school or in class or during lunch. And you don't have to be going out. You could just be good friends. So focus on building a strong friendship. So Jungle says, my goal for 2017 is to lose weight and build muscle. I'm going the rest of the year with my bad eating ways for Christmas. After that, it's all good. That's awesome to hear, man. Look, I think when it comes to exercise, everyone should exercise to feel healthy, right? And building muscle is part of feeling healthy. You know, they shouldn't be exclusive in any way. So if you feel like you want to start making the change in your life and you want to start eating healthier, you want to start being more conscious of what you put into your body, you want to start eating foods that are good and build muscle and build, a strong foundation, then go for it, man. I'm super excited. I'm super proud of you. If you want, like I said, shoot me a message on any of my social media platforms. I'm at the Josh Speaks on pretty much everything. Shoot me a message, man. I'll work with you. I'll talk to you. I'll keep you motivated. We'll help you stay on track because I really do want to see you succeed. So Noah says I need a response. So yeah, guys. So I'm working through the chat question by question as I'm going down. So if you feel like I haven't got to your question yet, don't worry, I'm going to get to them. I'm just working my way through. So Jamal says, hey, what's up, Jamal? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining the stream. Really happy to see you here. So Stammy says, I'm in 8th grade and have no classes with a really pretty girl who I noticed last week when she started following me on Instagram. Should I wait until high school and introduce myself? No, I don't. I think you should introduce yourself to her as soon as possible. I think putting off talking to someone doesn't help you get to know them any better, right? I know you may think like, oh, but if I'm in high school, things will be different, but you can still at least know who she is and she can at least know who you are. You guys can know of each other without maybe developing a deep friendship or anything beyond that. Just simply knowing each other is something you should aim to do as soon as you can. The sooner you introduce yourself, the easier it'll be to get to know them in the longer run. So you're only saving yourself time by doing it now. Buck says, have I ever done drugs? I've never done drugs. I'm not interested in drugs or alcohol or any of that kind of stuff. It's just not my thing. I feel like I don't really need them. You know, I'm just happy with the way life is. I don't know. So Christopher says, how do I figure out which girl I like if I like a few girls? So yeah, so this has come up a bunch. I've done a video on this in the past, but I think I'm going to do another video. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on just how to really figure out who you like. I think is an important thing. A lot of people seem to be struggling with, I like a bunch of people, but how do I really decide who I really like? And I think that's something that I want to cover in a video. Definitely going to do that one. So Midi Mike says, Josh, what if you're being bullied by a girl, though? I think the rule still applies. Now, I know that there's this kind of thing where boys don't hit girls and girls shouldn't hit boys. And like I said earlier, I think if a girl's bullying you, if a girl is, let's say, hitting you or calling you names, it's no different from when a guy is doing it. You have to approach it in a way that the goal is this. The goal is to get the person to stop bullying you, right? That is the goal no matter who it is. No one deserves to be bullied, and therefore no one should be bullied. So if a girl is bullying you, I think talking to her sternly and letting her know. And the thing is, don't do this in front of her friends. Don't do this in front of your friends. Try to do this in private if you can, if you see them one-on-one. Because when you do it in front of people, all that person feels is, well, now I have to show off in front of everyone. I have to show them that I'm the bigger, stronger person. And you don't want to do that. You know, if you talk to them in a serious tone and say, hey, listen, you know, it's really not cool what you do. It's like, it's just not nice. It's pretty lame. It's not funny. Just like lay off, you know, just let me alone. Say that to them in private if you can. And hopefully that'll get them to kind of realize, okay, well, you know, like this person's just being honest with me. Sometimes that doesn't guarantee they're going to stop, but at least it's the first step to try. So Brandon says, I want to ask a girl for her phone number, but I don't know how. She's one of the popular girls. So yeah, so I'm going to tackle this again, popularity and talking to the popular girls. I feel like that comes up quite a number of times here. So I really want to kind of tackle that. I think you have to be able to talk to someone who's popular as if they're like anyone else. The idea is to strip them of that any title. What ends up happening is that we as people, we kind of put people in higher categories than us, like they're more important or they're better than us. But at the end of the day, you know, everyone is the same. We're all people. We all need to sleep. We all need to eat, you know, we all need to drink water. You know, we all have these different needs. So no one really is higher than anyone else on that chain. So let's see what else we got. So Jamal says, I got rejected because my crush doesn't like me and says I'm ugly and disgusting. Jamal, I'm really sorry to hear that. I think that's a pretty mean way to act towards someone. And if a person's willing to be that blunt and that mean, then maybe you dodged the bullet there. Do you really want to be with someone who's going to be that outrageous and that mean to you? I mean, I think you saved yourself time. And I know it hurts and I know it's tough because you still like them, but I think at the end of the day, it's like you want to be with someone who values you for who you are. And if they're willing to be that rude in the beginning, then they don't value you. So Sahib says, I like a girl and I think she also likes me, but the problem is she never commits that she loves me. Okay, so we covered that earlier. Jahir says, what should I do with Bae tomorrow since it's the last day till Christmas vacation? Just got with her today. Oh, okay, so if you just got with your Bae today and tomorrow's the last day before vacation, what I would suggest is, I don't know if it's snowing where you guys are, but if you go out and just walk through the snow and try to build a snowman or have fun like that. The goal, I think, is to just spend quality time with each other. And that quality time may be getting to know each other, talking about your hobbies, your interests, and just learning more about each other. So before you take this next week off, just spend as much time as you can just getting to know them better. Okay, Ricochet says, I want to be more honest with myself. I tend to try to be someone else, and it keeps making me hate myself even more and more. Okay, that's a real interesting point, man. I think when it comes to being yourself, sometimes that can be scary. The idea of being open and honest with people can be scary because people may take advantage of you. People may abuse that. And I think the best way to be honest is the thing is, it's a matter of finding out how to communicate your feelings without holding on to the expectations of others. So, for example, if you don't like something, but you feel like if you tell someone you don't like something, they're going to be upset with you, it's finding out a way to communicate that you don't like it without hurting their feelings and without compromising your own feelings. Because then, like you said, you do end up hating yourself because you're not being honest, you're not being real. So the best way to be real is to try to start small with day-to-day things. If you are excited about something, express those good feelings. If you are happy to be talking to someone, say, hey, I'm really happy that I'm talking to you. But if you're also annoyed or sad, say, hey, I'm feeling annoyed right now. The goal is to communicate the small feelings first, because in doing that, you'll start to take little wins and being more honest with yourself. So if you do something that you enjoy, express that, talk about it, be open with that. If something happens that makes you not so happy, be open with that too. Don't become a slave to your emotions and how you react. Don't be rude or mean to others, but be open to talking to others and letting them know how you feel. So Sammy says, well, I have like no communication in real life except for occasionally I pass her by in the hall. Yeah, that's a tough thing too. When you see someone that's only in the hall and you don't really have the opportunity to talk to them, I mean, the best thing might be to just let it be for now. I mean, here's the thing too. If there isn't a chance for you to talk to them, maybe the best thing is to let them go for now and to focus on talking to other people or getting to know other people. If you continue allowing yourself to be stressed out about not accomplishing this or not talking to them, you're only going to hurt yourself in the long run. So ethanol Pokemon, you've been asking for 15 minutes. I don't remember what you asked. If you want, retype it in the chat now. I promise I'll get to it. Chat jumped. Oh man, I think I'm really behind on questions. All right, guys, I'm going to try to shoot through them quicker. I don't know where I was. I just see a lot of people talking about dabbing. I see a lot of dabbing in here. All right, I'm just going to jump in from here. Okay, so Goldie Chapman. Sorry, guys, if I skipped the question, but I'll try to get to it. Goldie Chapman says, hey, I've asked you this before, but it's kind of hard to keep my mind off sex. Since it seems to be the daily topic of the day at my school, sometimes it's hard being a virgin. Yeah, man, I totally understand where you're coming from on that. I think that, you know, the people around you are entering the age where people are talking about sex, people are having sex. It seems to be like, oh, everyone's doing it, dude. Like, you know, still a virgin, you're a loser. That's sometimes the normal conversation in high school and college or even in middle school at times. Don't feel bad or guilty if you are still a virgin. There's no shame. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin. Our society kind of puts this high emphasis on losing your virginity. But what's sad is that there's no emphasis on who you lose it with. It's just on the idea of losing it. When you really think about that, it's like it doesn't make any sense. It's not about who you're sharing that experience with. It's just about doing it. You know, so when people are bragging about doing it, you really have to think, are they bragging because they're doing it with someone they care about, they connect with, and it's a real shared experience? Or they're doing it just because they did it? You know, and if that is the case, is that the type of experience that you feel you want? You know? So that's what I would say, and that's it's more a battle of it's more a battle of mental gymnastics over not feeling guilty for not doing what everyone else is doing. Because if there's no value in it and they're just doing it just to get it done, it's not worth it, man. Trust me. So P Destroyer says the best advice to be the best person is to shut up and stop asking the same question a million times. I think that's not nice. I think people are asking their questions over and over just so that I don't skip it. So I don't blame anyone for doing that. If I do skip your question, no problem. Just share it in the chat again. I'll try my best to get through as many as I can. I notice I'm really far behind on questions. So I hope you guys don't feel like I'm not going to get to it. I'm going to try to jump through quickly. I'm going to give shorter answers. Can I send you a question in DMs on Instagram? Yep. My Instagram name is @thejoshspeaks. Shoot me a message there. I get DMs every single day from people. Sometimes I take out an hour or two and I just go through my DMs and message people. So feel free to message me anything you want on Instagram. So let's see. Ricochet, I want to be more honest. Okay. When's my birthday? Let's see. You got me a girlfriend like a year ago. Thanks. Awesome, man. I'm happy. Happy you have a girlfriend. What if you like a girl, but she doesn't know you that much? If you like someone and they don't know you that much, I mean, the clear answer is to how do you build a bridge so that they can get to know you better? And I think the best way to do that is to introduce yourself and to ask them to hang out. Spending one-on-one time with someone is the best way to get to know them better. So Spencer says, how do you become motivated to try this dating thing again? So let's say you haven't been dating for a while and you want to jump back into it. I think the best way to motivate yourself is to say, what is it you want to accomplish with someone by your side? So for example, let's say you want to spend the holidays with someone, or you want to try new restaurants, or go out and do something with someone. And you want to do that with another person. You think it'd be a lot of fun. You feel like it'd be cool to have someone to connect with. Let that be your motivating factor. In dating, it shouldn't, or if it is just being sexual with someone, if that's what your goal is. But at the end of the day, let what you want to accomplish be your motivating factor to do it again. Don't just start dating because I guess I should be dating. Really look for what you can learn and the values you can achieve and gain from dating someone. So Jager says, you sound different when you're in the stream. I guess I do somewhat, maybe a little bit there. Let's see. Guys, don't tell each other to shut up. No one wins when people say to shut up. No one's actually going to shut up. So Addicted Miner says, hey, I'm in middle school and the girl I like knows each other, but they don't. I'm in middle school and the girl I like know each other, but don't talk much. How can I tell her that I like her? So I don't think you should tell her that you like her. I think instead you should talk to her and try to get to know her better as a person. Don't tell someone how you feel. Show them how you feel. And the best way to show someone how you feel is by asking them to hang out. You can hang out during lunch, after school. You can ask her for her Snapchat name and maybe talk online afterwards. Do something like that. Justin says I'm ugly. Thank you, Justin. Ivy Reverse says, or For Reverse says, I don't know. Says your virginity is valuable. You don't want to lose it to a random girl just to get a pleasure for it. You first want to find the right girl and then decide if you want to or not. Totally agree with you on there, man. It really is. It's a shared experience. So it's not just a matter of doing it. It's a matter of sharing that experience with someone. So Ricochet says, there are boys who don't stop teasing me to the point that they are now bullying me. Yeah, so bullying comes up a lot here. So I'm gonna try to tackle bullying in another video. I have a few videos on bullying, but I think that there are different ways to approach bullying type of situations. And I always think the first approach is to try to talk to them sternly. You got to talk to them individually. In a group doesn't work. And I think jumping into fighting might not always work too. And fighting should always be a last resort type of thing. So I think if you can't talk to them, it may resort to fighting, but that should be last resort. So Queen Yaz says, how would you do to get your normal sleeping routine back after a few nights shift that ruined it? Okay, so let's say your sleeping schedule is totally off. How do you kind of reset yourself? A lot of people like to stay up 24 hours until their normal sleeping cycle. I don't know. I don't really function like that. What I would say is take a few micro naps throughout the day until your normal sleeping schedule. So maybe take an hour nap, take a 2-hour nap here and there. And then when you get to your normal time to go sleep, try your best to lie in bed. Try not to get up. Try to just relax. Sometimes, so here's the thing. When people sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, they'll jump to their phones, they get out of bed, they'll watch TV. But I think you should just hang out in bed, just relax, just chill out until the morning, because at least your body's relaxing. You may not be sleeping, but at least you're relaxing. So it'll be easier to get back into your game. So Gary says, hey, Josh, I've known this girl for a while now, but I don't have a very good connection with her, but I like her. She's very shy and not very popular. I don't see her often. Okay, so you like this girl, but she's shy and you don't really see her that often. I think when it comes to shy girls or shy guys, I think the key is to help them feel comfortable. You know, when they're shy, they're afraid of being judged or afraid of not being understood or being made fun of, or they're just feeling awkward in that moment. So you have to allow them to feel comfortable around you. And the best way to feel comfortable is to, I would say, start talking about yourself, start sharing stuff about yourself. The more you share about yourself, the more they'll feel like, hey, this person's open with me and I can maybe be open with them too. So enemy killer, should I ask out a girl again that I got rejected by? I think you really have to look at the type of rejection that you faced. If it was, I'm not interested in doing this thing with you, then I would say ask her out again. So for example, if you say, hey, do you want to go get food with me? She says, oh, I'm busy today. Or I'm busy, I don't know, that day. That may be a soft rejection. She's rejecting the plans. So you can ask her out again another day. But if she's like, no, I'm not interested in going out with you, or I see you as a friend, or I don't like you that way, that's the type of rejection I think you should move on from. So understanding the different levels of rejection is very, very important there. So I would definitely take a look at that. Is there any specific time when you start answering questions in social media? Not really. I try to do it in the early mornings, but I try to jump into it whenever I can. I see Gilbert and P Destroyer fighting over here. You guys, what are you fighting about? What is everyone fighting about? James says, Josh, I want a girlfriend in the new year, but there's a lot of girls in my grade I would be interested in. I don't know what to do though. Yeah, so I'm going to do a video on this, how to figure out who you like or how to like someone. As weird as that may sound, I think it's important. I think really deciding, how do I really decide who I want to be with and who I want to get to know better, I think is a very important thing to do. So I'm going to try to tackle that. I'm glad to see you want to take that on in the new year. So I'll fill whoever's in right now. Once again, I'm going to just share it in the chat. This is my 2017 survey, guys. And in this survey, what I'm hoping to do is to learn from you guys, what you guys want to see in videos, what type of content, what type of, people, who should I collab with? I want to learn a little bit more about you and who you are as a person so that I can get an understanding of who's watching my videos and if it's helpful for them or not. So definitely take the time out, fill out that survey, because I'm going to be picking 3 people from that survey, and I'm going to do one-on-one Skype calls with them. We're going to talk about everything on those Skype calls, guys. Anything on your mind, anything you want to talk to me about. So 3 people out of those things I'll have Skype calls with. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one, face-to-face, or face-to-face on Skype, definitely fill out that survey. Let me know what to do going forward to the new year. My goal for the new year is I want to really revamp the channel. I want to really double down on the content that you guys want to see and start moving away from the videos that maybe you guys don't want to see as much. So I jumped around the chat. I missed my spot, so I'm going to go back to here. Let's see. VX our ball rain. Here's the thing. In our school, appearance is more on point than personality. I like a girl, and the only class we have together is algebra and honors biology. I totally understand where you're coming from. I think in some cases, the reality of the situation is that looks sometimes are more important than personality, and that's how people just are functioning. That's their mindset. Ambulance. They're in that mindset where that's how they're seeing things. And I think a big challenge is that if you don't feel like you measure up in terms of looks, what do? You know, like either you can accept defeat and say, well, look, I'm never going to get with a girl, then that's just how it is. Or you can try, I know looks may not be the strong suit for you, but you have your personality, and that's not going anywhere. Looks will change and they'll grow, and people will grow acne and facial hair, and their hair will change, and all these different things. Looks are constantly changing. Your personality, you're developing as you grow, but there's a core foundation to it. So if that's your strongest suit and that's what you're working with, try to push forward there. And at least try to build connections with people, because you never know where those connections will develop. So should I leave this? So P Destroyer is asking, should he leave the live stream? I don't know. Everyone's asking me to dab. You guys do. If you guys want, tell you what, anyone, if you can, screenshot me dabbing and send it to me. I think it'll be funny. Ready? All right, guys, I'm going to dab. I need you guys to screen cap. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. There you go. Someone send that to me. That'll be funny. That'll be fun to see. We'll share that all over. Talk about dabbing. I don't know. So let's see. I skipped some of the questions, so if you guys want, repost them and I'll try to get to them. So Kane asked, do girls genuinely care for looks? I know they like confidence, but is appearance a factor at all? Yes, the reality is appearance is a factor. Appearance is the very first thing you see when you interact with someone. It would be kind of silly to say that looks don't matter, because if you have eyes to see, just like you have a nose to smell and a mouth to speak and ears to hear, all of your senses play into how you perceive someone. So looks do matter, but I think that personality and deep connection you can build with someone, I personally what I've seen can trump all the other things. Because if a person can feel comfortable around you, they will choose that over liking someone's attractiveness. And I think maybe there's a shallow sense of them where they'll choose attractiveness even if there's no personality to the person, but eventually that fades away. Strong, deep connections don't. So James says, Josh, I want a girlfriend in the new year, but there's a lot of girls on my grade I'd be interested in. That seems to be something that's happening a lot. People want to start off the new year, have a girlfriend, find someone they like. And I think the best thing is, I'm going to give you guys a little challenge here. I want you guys to try it out. Anyone who tries out this challenge, let me know. Let me know. When you go back to school, starting in the new year, I want you to talk to, within that first week of school, assuming it's not, if it's the full week, if it's not a full week, okay, within those first few days, try to talk to 3 new people. It could be guys, it could be girls, it could be people you like, or just people sitting next to you in class. Try to talk to 3 new people. And all you have to do is introduce yourself, ask them how their vacation went, and that's it. You don't have to carry it beyond that. Try to talk to 3 new people. And I need you guys to report to me how that went, because I tried this challenge myself. I pushed myself and said, you know what? This is what I did. I'm going to share this in a video too, in one of my life story videos, but I was following the rules of the game, right? Neil Strauss is the guy who wrote The Game, the pickup artist book. And he has a second book called Rules of the Game. One of the tasks was try to talk to, I think, 3 or 5 new people every single day. So when I'd come home from work and I'd be taking a train, I would get off 1 stop away from where my stop was, and I'd walk home. But as I walked home, I would stop in stores and I would try to talk to random people. I'd walk into a Rite Aid and I'd say, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, what are you looking for? Birthday cards? Oh, that's cool. And then I'd walk out. And I did this for the first few days. It was awkward as hell. It was so weird to do. It felt so out of place. But after a few days, I was so used to it because I had done it every single day that I was like, oh, cool, that person, go talk to them. And I was so comfortable doing it. So I definitely think talking to strangers helps build your confidence there. So like I said, when you go back to school, talk to 3 new people and let me know how that goes. Okay, let's get back to the questions here. We're going to kick off this new year, guys. It's going to be awesome. Let's do this. Okay. P Destroyer says, Josh, I've been hurt emotionally. My ex-boyfriend told me that he got my sister pregnant, and now she's thinking about abortion. I don't know what to do. I feel bad, That's a tough situation. I think if that's a situation you're in, then I think the idea is that if your sister wants to keep the baby, then be supportive there. I think your ex-boyfriend, if they are going to keep the baby, he has to step up. And if she feels like the best thing for her and her well-being is to have the abortion, then she has to make the call and decision that's right for her. But that's a very tough one. I feel for you. A bunch of youngsters here. Sorry for my inappropriate jokes. Thought that they were all be high school plus. Yeah, I think we got a mix of people. I need to do more high school videos. All right, cool. Alex, fill out the survey and let me know what you want to see. Let me know what grade you're in, and let me know the type of things you want to see in the future. I definitely want to tackle more high school stuff. So David says, I like a girl in 2 of my classes, history and gym. I feel like she looks at me, but I doubt it. She really looks like she doesn't think I'm good enough. Okay, so if you like a girl and she doesn't think you're good enough, I think you shouldn't waste your time. Here's the thing. You shouldn't waste your time on trying to convince people that you're worth getting to know. If people are willing to write you off without knowing you, don't waste your time with those people. You're going to work twice as hard to convince them rather than interacting and finding people that you can easily jump into conversation with. So that critic says, something that I'm going to do in 2017 is I'm going to make a massive Transformer movie that has quality. I already made a trailer. I'm ready to make the movie next year. Awesome, dude. I'm super proud of you. I can't wait to see it. If you want, share the link with me. I want to see your trailer. So Liberty Gaming says, Josh, I have this girl in middle school. My friends like her too. I was going to sit by her. So if you like someone and your friends like them, then you guys need to talk about that. If you liked her first and you want to talk to her, let your friends know that you're going to go for it so that you guys don't end up stepping on each other's toes. Queen Yaz says, Josh, have you read the book 1984? What do you think about it? I love 1984. It's one of my favorite books. It's a great book. It's one of those, dystopian kind of time books. And it's like Hunger Games and those. So if you guys like Hunger Games, definitely read 1984. Books like that are just awesome. Let's see. Brian is big says, sub to my channel and get a dab. Okay, guys, sub to his channel and get a dab. Ricochet says, I want to be more honest with myself. I tend to try to be someone else's. That keeps making me hate myself even more. So Ricochet, yeah, I answered this earlier. I think the key to being yourself and the key to opening up is to be more honest about how you feel when you feel things. So if you're doing something that's making you happy, talk about that. Talk about how it's making you happy. If you're doing something that's making you upset or sad, talk about that too. The more you talk about how you feel, the easier it'll be to feel comfortable in your own skin, because you're being real. So iRiver says, I've been exercising daily. I started about 2 weeks ago. If you want a great 30-minute workout, go to Jack Mace's channel. I've gained muscle and have seen the changes. I weigh 140 pounds. Awesome, dude. Anyone in here who wants to exercise and get fit, check out Jack Mace's channel. iRiver recommends it. So E says, hey, Josh, how do you deal with being the weakest friend in the friend group? As I'm not really bulky and I was always shorter, but all my friends are much stronger. How can I fit in better? Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes friends like to do things together. So they'll all work out together, or all like start skateboarding together or play sports together. If you feel like you may be the weakest one on that chain, really evaluate, is exercising something you enjoy, or are you just doing it because your friends are doing it? And if it is something you enjoy, then ask them, try to learn from them, see what they're doing and how they're actually making their gains so that you can learn from them too. If it's something you don't enjoy, don't feel guilty or bad by not participating in it. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to do something that all your friends want to do. So Alex asks, what's a good conversation starter with a girl? Very easy, good conversation starter. Like I said, if you don't know who she is and she's someone you see very constantly, walk up there and say, hey, I've seen you around before, but I don't think I've ever introduced myself to you. My name is Alex. What's your name? That's an easy conversation starter. You can jump from there. You can say, oh, cool. So tell me something about yourself. What's your favorite movie? Or do you like reading books? You can jump into anything that's very simple like that, and then learn something about them. Once they reveal something about themselves, you can play into it. Like someone here mentioned Transformers, right? Let's say you ask a girl, what's your favorite movie? She says Transformers. You could say, oh, cool, you like Transformers. Have you seen all the Transformers movies? Do you collect the toys? Did you watch the cartoon from the 80s? You can dive deeper into topics once you know a little bit more. So gym is not your thing, Ease. Yeah, man, if the gym is not your thing, don't force yourself to do it just because your friends are doing it. I know that sometimes feels weird because you want to hang out with your friends and do what they're doing, but you got to find your own path sometimes. Josh, I need help. I could talk to girls as friends and have conversations, but when it comes to my crush, I can't talk to her because I'm so shy. She has a lot of guy friends. What should I do? Yeah, I mean, if you're in a situation where you like a girl, but you're just shy around her and you don't know what it is, I think everything is small steps, right? So if you're willing to take those tiny steps and get to know her better, and the best way to do that is to try to find little ways to interact with her. 3 things I always mention when it comes to just breaking out of your shell, the 3 key steps I always mention. 1, eye contact. When you see them, hold eye contact with them. Look them in the eyes, let them see you. 2, smile. Sometimes when people hold eye contact, they just stare. But if you're holding eye contact and you're smiling, they're going to feel there's a warmness there. Okay, cool. He's smiling. Let me smile back. And 3, say hi. Awkwardly staring and smiling and can be weird. But if you're staring and smiling and say, hey, how's it going? Or hey, what's up? That will make the whole, all 3 of those actions will play together. And they play together to allow the other person to feel like, hey, this is an all right person around me. Focus on doing those 3 things at the very, very start. All right. I call my crush Jiggly. Do you mean Jiggly like Jigglypuff? So let's see. So Dark Crafter says, Josh, please read. I really like this girl in my school. She's in the 8th grade. I'm in 7th, and I feel like we don't have any time to talk. I see her in the hallways, but never get a chance to talk to her. So yeah, so if you never get a chance to talk to your crush and you see them in the hallways, I have a video on that called How to Talk to Your Crush When You Never See Them Around. That might be super helpful for you because it'll allow you to see, does it make sense to pursue this person? Should you hold off on talking to them until it's a lot easier for you? Those are things you have to evaluate. Let's see. James Welsh says, Josh, I don't like anyone now, but I want a girlfriend in the new year. And there's a lot of girls in my grade I would date. Should I talk to some of them? Absolutely. I think, like I said, make it your goal in the new year. Guys, I'm serious about this. Make it your goal in the new year to talk to 3 new people. You don't know, you never know who you're going to connect with, and it's after a while, it becomes exciting. When you talk to that first person, it's going to be weird. Talk to that second person, you're going to compare it to the first. When you talk to that third person, it's going to flow. It's going to be easier for you because you've already done it twice. Third person is going to be like, all right, cool. I know what I'm doing. I'm talking to this third person. So go for it. So Reverse says, I would recommend a heavy breakfast and throughout the day, separate small meals throughout the day. Avoid junk food, soda, and high-fat calorie food. Also, no fast food or processed meats. Definitely agree with you on that. I would even go as far as to say cut meat and dairy out as well. You can make easy swaps with high protein foods like tofu is high protein, tempeh is high protein. You can eat lots of more greens, vegetables, fruits. Those definite things, but no fast food, no sugar, no soda. Cut all that stuff out, and that's definitely IV Reverse is onto something there. He knows what he's talking about. Okay, let's see. Vincenzo says, I see her a lot in the halls. They're crowded, and we are always going opposite directions. How can I casually approach in a situation like that? So here's the thing too. If a person is walking towards you and you're walking towards them, it can be kind of weird to just stop them because you're stopping their motion. If they're walking and you just stop them, it's like, oh, you caught them abruptly. So what I would do is I would try to walk alongside them. Right now, it may seem a little weird, but like if they're walking in the direction as you, stop where you are. Stop where you are and wait till they start walking next to you and then start walking alongside them and turn to them and say, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Now you guys are walking in the same direction. And when you're walking in the same direction, it doesn't seem like you're stopping them because you're both still moving. So there's nothing weird about it. When you stop someone head on, it could be weird. But when you guys are walking together, it's not as weird. So Ricochet says, please reply. I want to be more honest with myself. I tend to try and be someone else and keep making me hate myself even more and more. Any tips? So Ricochet, I've answered it a few times. I think I'm really behind on questions then. Because yeah, I'm definitely behind on questions. I'm going to try to skim through this quicker. Josh, there's this girl who I like that my best friend likes too. I was going to sit by her at lunch and her mom sits right by her. We both have a lot in common, though my friend is going to slip a note in her backpack saying that he likes her and does she like him back? What is your preference? I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of the I like you, do you like me? I think the best thing is to talk to someone face to face. I think with the note thing, what it does is it allows you to be safe in the sense that if they don't like you, you don't have to deal with the rejection face to face. But it's also a lot easier for someone to reject you by note than to reject you to your face. It's a lot easier. And what you're doing is you're taking away the ability for you guys to have that face-to-face connection, which might be what's necessary, or in your friend's case, that might be what's necessary for them to actually get together. So I would say, like, I think the note thing is a bad. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. So you and your friend both like the girl. I think that it's not going to work for your friend. I think if you want to talk to her and you want a better chance with her, talk to her face to face. So, yo, Josh, I want to get my two first friends ever since they came to the U.S. a present. I will be in the Philippines. I want to get them both something very, very special, especially my first friend. So, I mean, a good present is something that is unique and special. So, while you're in the Philippines, see if there's anything that's cultural or relevant. So, for example, one of my friends went to India, right? And in India, he bought this little Buddha for me, right? And it was, like, it's a tiny little thing, but he was telling me that, like, what Buddha means in India and in different places in the area he traveled to. So it had significance to it. So it was important to me. So I think that's something that you should focus on. Don't focus on something flashy. Focus on something with value, some sentimental value. H-Town Cuber. You said the girl I like can't hang out outside of school. I asked her out last school year, and she said that no, but that doesn't mean I don't like you though. I asked what she meant, and she said as friends. What can I do? Can I make a move, or we'll still talk and text now? So it seems to me like she may like you as friends, but because you haven't asked her to hang out in a while, maybe things have changed. Maybe she wants to get to know you better. And I think the best thing is try to ask her out again. I mean, like I said, it's asking someone out isn't a one strikeout policy unless they make it very clear that it is. If they just are not interested in that moment, you can always ask them out again or spend more time with them, get to know them before you ask them out again. David, I didn't see you in here. I'm sorry. Good to see that you joined the chat. I deserve a PhD. I would have to go to medical school to get that, but thank you. I appreciate that. Ivy Reverse says, also, they're both girls and I'm a guy. One likes music, plays a lot of musical instruments, and the other likes to draw and create cartoons. All right, cool. I see where you're coming from. Arctic Frog says, tell me hi. Hello, Arctic Frog. So let's kind of skim through some of these. Okay. A goal I have for the new year is to find a way to stop overthinking. Okay, we covered that. Overthinking, guys, like I said, download the Calm app. Calm app is a great app to help you kind of be more in the moment. Okay, here's a real, like a tangible bullying example here. How do I get bullied to stop being rude to me? I tell the teacher because he punched me several times, but they didn't do anything. So how can I deal with the issue myself? So here's the thing. This is a bullying situation where now it's gone physical. Now this changes the game. When it gets to a point where a person is putting their hands on you, you have every right to defend yourself. Now, like I said, if a person's calling you names and stuff, I don't think using physical violence is the solution. But if they're using violence against you and they're touching you and hitting you, I would say focus on learning how to defend yourself. That may mean how to catch someone's hand if they throw it at you, how to grab someone's arm and put them in a lock. I think you don't want to learn these things to use them. You don't want to learn them because you want to use them. You want to learn them because you may need to use them. So I would definitely look up some techniques for defending yourself physically against bullies, how to put people in headlocks and hold them. The goal is to get them to stop overall. So if they are putting their hands on you and it does have to be physical, the best way is to know how to defend yourself. How do I break Fozzie RKO? RKO out of nowhere says, how do I break up a couple? I wouldn't advise breaking up a couple. I think that you shouldn't really ever interfere with someone else's relationship. It's just not cool. And it's not respectful, because if you were going out with that person, you wouldn't want someone to break up your relationship with them. So Angel Garcia says, how can I get transferred to another school? Because the school I go to right now, I very much dislike. So that's a tough one. I think the first step would be talking to your parents about that and talking to your teachers, especially the counselors in your school. If you feel like the school isn't right for you, you don't connect, the kids are mean, you don't understand the schoolwork, talk to a counselor in your school, because they'll help you either better assess how you can function better in that school, or if going to another school is the right decision for you. So Jesus Life says, how to be cool around your crush. I think a good way to be cool around your crush is to show them that you're all about having a good time. You know, we look at cool like you could be kind of the bad boy, but being cool is just having a fun time. Nothing rocks your world and you're just all about having a good time. So if you could put that on display, You can say, hey, listen, come hang out with me. Oh, you're busy? All right, cool. I'm going to go hang out with these people. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'm good. You're always having a good time. You know, aim to just enjoy life. And I think that's how you be cool around your crush. So Ivy River says, I'd rather be a virgin until after college so that I won't get anyone pregnant or get an STD. I mean, that might be the right decision for you. I think whenever you choose to start engaging and having sex, like you said, be conscious, recognize that sex may lead to pregnancy or can lead to STDs. These are real consequences sometimes if you don't practice these things safely. So however old you are, if you're going to start engaging in these behavior, just be mindful of what you're doing. Reese, good to see you, man. Josh, can you talk about dressing to attract girls? Okay, cool. So when it comes to dressing, I think changing the way that you dress and your style of clothing and stuff, I think the best people to learn from and how to do that is to talk to other girls. Other girls will have a better idea because it's almost like you're speaking to a baseball fan about what makes a good player. They're going to know because they're a baseball fan. So if you're speaking to a girl about what looks good on a guy, a girl will give you hit my microphone. The girl will give you honest feedback. So just on a general sense, you're by yourself, you're a guy, you're just here, I would look at your clothes. The first thing I would look at is look at t-shirts that are too baggy. A lot of times guys have shirts that the arms are just really wide and they hang really low, or the shirts are just kind of crumpled and the material's thinning. Take a look at all of your t-shirts and see which of those shirts are in that condition. Maybe the collar's stretched out, and cut them all out. Get rid of all of them. Look for shirts that kind of hold onto your body, that make it look solid, that don't make you look frumpy. That's the first step. Cut out t-shirts that make you look kind of eh. Let's see. Phil says, how do I get a girl to feel more openly about sex without pushing her? Okay, this is an interesting question. So when it comes to feeling open about sex, I think the best thing to do is to allow her to know that you're willing to work at her pace and you're willing to work with her. You don't want her to ever feel like you're going to pressure her, and you don't want her ever to feel like she should just do it to make you happy. It should be a mutual thing. So talking about that every once in a while, talking about what you're feeling, that you want to do it, but you want to know that she feels like it's the right time. And talk to her let her know that you are researching and learning about what safe sex is like and how to prevent these things, because those may be real fears that she has that she may not be talking about. But letting her know that you're preparing for these things might give her peace of mind. Let's see what else we got. So Kiriko says, Josh, what should I do? This girl I know that I like her. This girl knows that I like her, and my friends told me to Snapchat her. Do you say hey? So after a few days, I did so. She screenshots me saying hey, then removes me the next day. So if that's the case, if the girl is doing something like that, then you said my friend told me that she's going to add me back, so she did this. She's still worth it. So it sounds like she did that. She screenshotted it to probably show her friends and to, for whatever reason, to make it into a joke or however it may be. But I think in that case, the best thing to do is ask yourself if she's someone that you really want to get close with or get to know. And I'd be very cautious and wary because you don't really know if she's doing that to make fun of you. But be very cautious. I think it's the safest thing I would say. Jesus says, I love the internet and people. Okay. Let's see what else we got in here. How do I ask a person out through Insta? That's a video that I'm actually coming out with very soon. I've done one for Snapchat. I've done one for Facebook. I have to do one for Instagram since that's where everyone is right now. So I'm going to do a video on how to ask your crush out on Instagram. Stay tuned for that. Told her to calm down. She hasn't talked to me since. Okay, let's see what the first part of the question is. I know this girl and she likes other guys. After I told her I might be interested in someone else, she freaked. And once I brought up liking other guys, she said she did it to make me jealous. Yeah, so it sounds to me like she likes the attention. She likes the idea that you like her. And the fact that you're kind of showing her, hey, I'm going to move on, might make her feel like she's going to lose that attention. So that's something to be recognized too, that she may not actually like you. I don't know, but she definitely likes the attention. So be wary of that. So if she starts to flirt with you, be wary. Is she doing it because she actually likes you, or is it because she doesn't want you to go away? Okay. So Ricochet says, recently in Finsbury Park Station, my uncle got hit by a train. How do you deal with the loss? And I feel that genuinely my life sucks. I don't want to commit because of my family. Ricochet, I'm really, really sorry to hear that. It's losing a family member is a very, very tough thing. It's never easy, and it's never something that you can kind of accept and move on with. It's something that you carry with you. Um, and I think as tough as it may be to carry those hard moments, you still also carry the good moments that you shared with that person. So you may feel like in this moment you can't move on, you don't know what to do, and time is kind of stood still. And I think the best thing might be to talk to the people that had the deepest connection with him, your family members, your parents, whoever it may be, and share the moments and the good times you guys had together. Because knowing that other people care about him just as much as you do will make you feel like you're not alone here. I know it's tough. I know that may not be something you could do immediately, but that may be the best thing. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. Okay, let's see. Vincenzo says, she tried to get me to react. I notice when I do notice, I don't know how to respond. I don't think I'm giving her the right signs. When it comes to giving signs, I think that can be a tricky game to play. I think it's like you're playing tennis and someone serves to you and they're expecting you to serve back. I don't think you should serve back. I think you should walk up to the net with the ball and just throw it over. You know, like if a person's looking at you or smiling and stuff, walk up to them and talk to them. Cut it off and just go for it. Because when you go for it, you're showing them, hey, listen, I'm confident. I want to talk to you. I'm ready to do this. You know, there isn't that fear of like, oh, do they like me? I don't know what to do. You're just going for it. So James says, Josh, I want a girl in the new year, and there's a lot of girls. I would go out with them. Should I talk to all of them? I think you should talk to as many girls as you can, get to know as many people as you can. Start the new year off making new friends and getting to know more people. It's always a good thing to do. It's always a good thing to start with. How do I roast? Depends what you're roasting. How do I dab? Depends what kind of dab you're doing. I feel that my life is sucking. Ricochet says, feel that my life is sucking and I hate myself. I want my best friend back. There's literally nothing helping me apart from my family. Ricochet, I'm really sorry to hear that, man. What I would suggest, if you want, you can always shoot me a message. thejoshspeaks.com/ask. Shoot me a message on there, and I'll try to help you out, talk to you, man. And also the Facebook group that I put together, the Learning Co-op. I'm going to share the link in the chat. Jump on there if you want and talk to the people there, because there's some really good people in there that are helping each other out every day that I see. So, and they definitely will talk to you and help you out, man. Why does cardio make you fat? I've heard a lot of back and forth about if cardio helps make you fat or doesn't. I think I don't know enough. I don't know a lot about this, but I think what happens is when you become sedentary in your workout. So let's assume I'm running and my heart rate isn't moving and stuff. My body becomes used to the speed that I'm running. So I'm not really burning calories as quickly because I'm not putting any challenge on my muscle. My body just becomes used to that. So I think when you're doing cardio, you have to do a mix of high running, high pressure, low pressure, and high running, high pressure. You kind of shock your body so that it's constantly burning fat in there. That's the little that I know. Lived, how you pronounce your name. Let's see what else you got. How do I get more subs than PewDiePie? I think the best way to get more subs than PewDiePie is probably to hold out for him to deliver on his promise to delete his main channel. We deleted the other one. Joshua, on muscles, what would you suggest I do to get muscles? I think muscles are built in two places, in the kitchen and then in the gym or wherever you work out. You have to eat right. You have to eat healthy. You have to take care of your body. Go to sleep early on time. Put good foods into your body, whole foods, like no garbage, no processed foods, no sugar, nothing that will give you high cholesterol or lead to diabetes or heart disease or any of these things. Wholesome quality foods is what your diet should maintain. And then also exercising, daily exercising, keeping your body in a rhythm where you're training your muscles every single day. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of practice, but you can definitely do it. So Ben asked an interesting question. Should I go out with a girl that broke up with her boyfriend with me? So she broke up with her boyfriend to go out with you, I'm assuming. I think in a case like that, I think what I would suggest doing is I would go out with her. I mean, if she broke up with him to go out with you, then she wants to be with you. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that she made a decision for herself and you're going to just benefit from it. So let's see. So cardio doesn't make you fat, artifact, though you gain weight is because you build your muscle building. Yeah, you know, so as you build muscle, guys, muscle weighs more than fat. So of course you're going to be heavier, but it's a stronger and healthier kind of heavier, not a fat content heavier. So David says, hey, Josh, I get very depressed around Christmas times. I start to cry and get upset as well. Don't really enjoy the Christmas holidays anymore since my granddad passed away in 2002. What do I do, Josh? Yeah, David, I mean, we've talked about this, I think, in the past, and it can be very sad and hard sometimes going through the holidays without the loved ones that you've had in your life. And I think the best thing to do is to really think about the people that you do have and to cherish them. Like recognizing that people won't be around forever. You know, it's like should help shape you up and to think, man, I really should not take anyone I have for granted. I should be very thankful, very happy that I have these people in my life right now and let them know that. Oh boy, the chat jumped again. Okay, cool. Aiden, good to see you, man. Aiden, if you can, post the link to the Facebook group in here. Guys, just so you know, Aiden, he's a moderator here on the channel, and he's also one of the head people in charge. He's the top moderator guy on the Facebook group too. Like I said, we got a lot of great people in there, and they help each other out daily. It's amazing to see you guys sticking up and sticking for each other. So someone said, do you like WWE? I love WWE. If I had 2 dimes for every time someone asked me if I didn't like WWE, I'd have 0 dimes. Bada boom, realest guy in the room. Say, how you doing? I don't know where I was going with that. All right, oh man, the chat jumped. So totally skipped a bunch of you guys' questions. I'm sorry. We're getting close to 9 o'clock here. I'm going to start trying to lead it into wrapping up. So I'm going to try to get through these a lot quicker. But for the next half hour afterwards, I'm going to jump on Instagram Live. I saw that my friend Ryan was on there earlier. So I definitely want to try it out. If you guys are following me on Instagram, head over to Instagram after this and we'll talk on there. It'll be kind of the post YouTube Hangout show. But I definitely want to see what that's all about. Instagram Live is all about. So Instagram.com/thejoshspeaks. Follow me over there. Afterwards, we're going to jump on over there. And like I said, the goal here is to help you guys set up goals for the new year. Think about what you really want to do. Who is the person you want to be going into the new year? Like I said, for myself, I'm putting out the survey because I want you guys to help me figure out what I can do to grow the channel, what I can do to help better serve you, and how we can better connect. I really want to make 2017 a standout year for the Josh Speaks, and I'm really super excited that you guys are here to help. Let's go through a few of these questions now. Let's see what we got here. Hillary voters for triggered. You said Trump. Uh-oh, someone's triggered. Who got triggered? You triggered? I'm not triggered. Who's triggered? Let's see what we got here. Hey, Midi Mike says, hey, Josh, third question. Thanks for responding, though. You're the best. I'm at the age that I'm starting to have questions about the opposite sex. What do I do when tempted to watch porn? Is porn bad? I don't think porn is bad. But here's the thing. Watching porn is not bad. But basing how to interact with other people on porn is bad. See, porn is just created to give you this kind of mental stimulation, right? It's like porn, for the majority, is made for males' attention and males' gaze, right? The way that people act in porn as well. Now, if you watch it because you want to experience sexual attraction, you want to see it, you know, whatever it is, that's fine. That's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with watching something. It's recognizing where the reality and where the fiction comes into place. The way that men treat women in porn is not realistic and not how women should actually be treated in real life. most of the things that girls do in porn are not things that real women in the real world like. So I wouldn't say porn is bad. If you are interested in exploring and learning it, go for it, man. Do what you need to learn, but don't hold the expectation that women are going to act like porn stars, because that's not true at all. Let's see what else we got in here. Chris the editor says, hey Josh, how can I improve my ability to build up to a relationship in the coming year? I think the best way to do that is to spend time with the person that you want to get to have this relationship with. The more time you spend getting to know someone, the more time you spend hanging out with them, especially one-on-one, the easier it is for you to lead into a relationship. So usually when I say start off with a friendship, people think, oh no, do you mean get in the friend zone or just be a friend? No, no, no. What I mean is build a friendship that's based on getting to know each other as people. Keep in mind, it doesn't make sense to ask someone out that you don't really know or you don't know anything about, because you're going to do this, you're going to have the same conversation topics that you would if you were doing it in a friendly way. So get that out of the way. Get that getting to know each other out of the way, so that when you do go on a date, you could spend time really getting to know each other, connecting and spending connecting experiences with one another. Colin, what's good, man? Good to see you on here. By the way, to anyone that's stuck around for most of the chat, thank you. I really appreciate it. Some of you guys I see still asking questions, still jumping in the chat here, and saw you there since the beginning. So I really appreciate you guys for sticking around. Anyone new who's jumping in, thank you for taking time out of your day to jump into this hangout. I'm going to post the survey once again in here. Just so you guys know, that survey is that's going to help me make the channel great again. It's going to help me get a better understanding of what kind of videos, what kind of content you guys want to see, so that I can kind of help shape the channel in the best way possible. So let's see what else we got in here. I'm going to answer a few more questions. I'm going to start wrapping it up because it'll be 9 o'clock. Like I said, head over to Instagram. I'm going to jump on Instagram Live to try that out and see what that's all about. Okay, so Mia says, hey, I'm with a boy and we kissed on the lips, and my friend took a picture and sent it to us, and my boyfriend's mom told the principal, and we might get suspended. What do I do, because I'm really nervous? I mean, it kind of sucks that that happened, that it went up the scale to the principal. I think that this situation may mean that you should probably talk to your parents, and he should probably talk to his parents about what the parents, everyone's parents feel comfortable with. I've done a few videos on how parents feel about dating and how you should talk to your parents about dating. And I think that's an important conversation to have. If you already have a boyfriend and you're already at the level you guys want to kiss, knowing where your parents stand and how they feel about it is super important, because it allows everyone to be on the same page so that no one goes running to the principal and no one gets in trouble. I hope you don't get suspended. I hope that everyone can just talk things out. But I would say just you really have to talk to your parents about that and get on the same page with them. Oh, Ricochet, it's really late over there, man. Thanks for jumping in. I really appreciate you being here and asking your questions, helping us out here. Okay, so Crossinick says, gaming says, hey Josh, how do I manage my time? I've recently gotten to new hobbies, but I can't seem to manage my time between my girlfriend, my friends, my school, and my hobbies. Yeah, this is a common thing I think a lot of people face, especially when you're in the age where you're doing after school activities and you're focusing on your schoolwork and you have friends. It's just a lot of things to juggle. And I think the best way to prioritize everything is to outline things on a calendar. Now, it may seem weird to say like, okay, Fridays is my girlfriend time and Saturdays is my friend time, but it will help make things easier to know where you can also move your flexible schedule around. So maybe sometimes you may be able to move some Saturday time to be with your girlfriend or Friday time to be with your friends. School activities may have to stay, and the same goes for like school work and preparing for tests and things like that. But really try to map things out on the calendar, because once you start looking at things on paper, it becomes a lot easier to work with. All right, guys, last question here. I'm going to pick one. And then, like I said, jump over to Instagram. Make sure to fill out the survey, guys. I really, really appreciate it if you fill out the survey. It'd be super helpful and really help me know what you guys want to see on the channel. Help me set my goals for the channel. Just like I hope this answering all these questions help you guys learn different takeaways of, okay, I'm going to talk to 3 new people starting the new year. I'm going to make eye contact. I'm going to talk to my parents about dating. I'm going to start exercising. All these different things that we tackled. Hopefully these help you stay focused and follow your goals. Final question of the day. Final question of the stream. Okay. All right, here. We'll end it on this, guys. So our first, Gungan says, why are you supporting middle school relationships? So why do you support middle school relationships? So I'll quickly answer that. A big part of why I support any kind of relationship is because I think it's important for people to connect with other people, regardless of how old they are. Now, when we look at the idea of what a relationship is, I think it differs from elementary school to middle school to high school. So if a person in middle school is like, well, I want a boyfriend, what they may mean by a boyfriend may not be someone that they're making out with and doing whatever. It may just mean someone to hang out with, someone to talk with, someone to connect with. So I support any kind of relationship that involves people getting to know each other better, whether you're in middle school, elementary, or high school, or college. I do think that at different ages, it's very important to be conscious of what you're doing. So I wouldn't tell a 6th grader to start making out with random people, because I don't think that may be the right age to start doing and exploring that, maybe 8th or 9th or 10th grade. But I think I want everyone to feel comfortable pursuing what it is they want to explore and learn. And I don't think anyone should be shunned or talked down to, or told they're not ready for it. I think it's all about exploring what you're curious about, and talking about it is the best way to explore. Okay, final question. Let's see who we got here. Let's see. The next question that pops up in the chat is going to be the final one. Okay, here. I feel insecure. This is from James Welsh. I feel insecure about if a girl I like is taller than me. Help. Okay, so here's the thing about height. I think our society puts a big emphasis on girls liking tall guys that are a lot taller than them. It seems to be the standard. Every guy should be taller. But the reality is people are all made differently. Some girls are made to be really tall. Some guys are made to be really short. It's a normal thing. So if you feel insecure, if you don't feel like you're tall enough for a girl that that wants tall guys, we talked about this earlier too. Someone had brought up that they're Hispanic and that the girl that they like generally likes African-American guys. So he felt like, oh, well, how do I talk to her? I know that she likes these type of guys. And the same advice I told him, I'll say here, is that looks play a piece of the pie, right? Looks are a piece, the first thing you see, the first thing you get to know. So if a guy is tall, you're going to notice that right in the beginning. But him being tall won't be a saving grace that'll carry him into a relationship with her that'll be meaningful. Personality is the thing that carries you. If you can develop a connection with someone, a really deep connection, doesn't matter if they're shorter or taller than you, they're going to feel comfortable around you. And that's what you want to aim for. So if it's a girl that you know likes taller guys, or generally is with taller guys, come into the fray with your personality. Come into the fray talking to her, making her laugh, finding out what her hobbies are, what her interests are, and really connect with her. Because if she ends up feeling like she could be open with you, the height thing will fall to the background, and it'll be something that she won't even think about. So that's my advice there. To anyone else that's asking questions, I apologize if I didn't get to answer the question. Here's what I suggest you guys do. Like I said before, I'm going to post it in the chat right now. Okay. I didn't post the URL, but it pulled in there. If you guys go to the joshspeaks.com/ask, you can go in there, choose if you want to message me on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, or even just shoot me an email from there. Go to that page and shoot me a message as soon as you can on whatever you want. I'll do my best to answer it. Like I said, I go through my messages as often as I can. I try to answer every single one of them. So if I didn't get to your question tonight and you want to talk about setting your goals or accomplishing something, let me know. Shoot me a message. Let me know what's on your mind, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for being part of this stream. I'm going to let you guys in on a little hint here. I'm going to be doing another live stream once I hit 100,000 subscribers, which I think will be around probably January 1st. So hopefully we can boost this channel up and get to 100,000 by then. Kid Gaming, what are you spamming? Hopefully we can get this channel up to 100,000 by then. Shoot me your guys' message. I really, truly appreciate all the insightful, now Arctic Fog is going. I really appreciate all the insightful comments and thoughts and ideas that you guys share. And I really think it's so special that you guys are willing to help each other too. That's so important. At the end of the day, we all want to learn how to be our best self. And I think starting off the new year, working towards our goals and sharing with each other the ups and the downs that we faced along the way is the very first step in that process. All right, guys, I'm going to jump on Instagram Live. Go follow me on there if you want. Thank you guys for being a part of this, and definitely check out the next stream and my next video, which comes out next week. I'm going to take a little break and just answer people's comments for the rest of the week. All right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. As always, love and peace. See you guys later.